You see, dear one, that the infinity of God is such that simply the thought of him, which seems very simple to us, of course, but in fact is astonishing, really. I mean, thought is an astonishing concept, isn't it? I mean, concept is an astonishing concept. Simply the thought of him utterly transforms your life. You know, I'm back then in whenever it was, 24 years of age. I'm on campus. I'm thinking of God because I'm reading Paramahansa's autobiography of a yogi, and I'm in a state of joy. I'm in love anyway. Okay, I'm not having relationship with the person I love, but I know I love her and I think she's wonderful. And it's springtime and I'm free somehow, and I'm going to be doing a worthwhile job, as I saw it then. Trainee social worker coming up in a few months. And I was on campus, beautiful environment. I was so happy. I just wanted God to exist. You see, the thought of him changed the next infinity of years. Like every other detail for me and all heaven. Every detail counts. This is an aside, this little bit here. Every detail counts. You know, someone said, lest the universe collapse for want of a pin. Every detail is part of the current picture and of creation as we see it in the transitory. Everything depends on the existence of everything else. You know, if I were to take, if you like, a pin out of the universe, it would change the gravitational mix such that something would happen somewhere that wouldn't happen otherwise, and so on and so forth. And that ricochets down through time to affect the vastness of creation, majorly, perhaps. Coming back to my main point, though, the thought of God is stupendous, to say, to grossly understate. And that's why meditation is perhaps so profound, that you constantly come back to the thought of, ideally, God, and some notion of his perfectness. And even an imperfect view of the perfect is infinite. Do you see, even to have an imperfect view means that you've got some trace of the perfect, and that's infinite in consequence. So this universe is made up of a mix of good and bad, so to speak, as we see it in our childish view. But even the possibility of good results in an overwhelming transformation into the eternal. It's something like this. I can't quite handle it in words, as you can see. But perhaps you feel what I mean. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. Well, perhaps it's quite simple, that the thought of a loving Heavenly God that dwells in you, that you are of the same affinity, you know, you're the child of, but in a spiritual sense now, as an eternal sense that counts. The thought of this, to dwell on this, to think of this, to to remind yourself of this fantastically changes your life. I could say into life eternal, but you've got it anyway. It's just that it brings it to its, well, your realization of it. And that's everything. Something of this, isn't it? Thank you, Heavenly Dad.